Hello, I'm Diane and this is Extra. We broaden your horizon today with the work of an environmental activist who shares his passion in his community and the Pacific, and we talk to yet another inspiring young man. You would normally find them in the house tending to their day-to-day chores or in the office working in an 8-to-5 job. But this time, Jacqueline Kanabudi caught the army wives taking time out to mix and mingle.
Like any other human being, a mother needs a break from her home and office responsibilities. A break could be spending time with her friends, visiting families, or socializing with other mothers. And sports could be one of the top selected social activities for mothers. Recently, the wives of PNGDF personnel in Port Moresby held their annual sports tournament at Goldie Barracks outside Port Moresby. The tournament saw mothers from all units under PNGDF coming out and having a good time. We are all the sexy girls. While talking to some of the mothers, they said the tournament gave them a great opportunity to socialize with other mothers which they don't experience every day due to their locations.
But for we mothers, most of the time we're in the house, babysitting, looking after our house, and to come out here and to have a time for ourselves, it's so meaningful for us. Just to, just spending time with ourselves, not to play all the time to win, but to, get around and meet around and see ourselves as, like, we are soldiers' wives, but we are still fit.
We come to know each other as well. When we are on our own, in our own units, we don't really know much about each other. But when we come out here, we know the other mothers of other units, and then, we try to continue our relationship as mothers, as soldiers' wives.
Makes us to begin to know one another, learn from each other, and get to understand the difficulties and situations each mother has in her home. So if we have mothers who are having such situations, as a mother I will feel what she feels, and I will stand with her. We regroup and we stand together to support her.
Kami plakam lo kain pun mi plus meeting mi playet na mi plus sama mas. Kami plus ilan laos mi plus akat kain ting na wari sa bagara mi plana family problems ako also. Na mi plakam auto se mi plus sama mas tasol na mi plus greeting na rapla unity kam na mi plus play ama mas na look sa mi playet.
If you think a mother can do a slam dunk, you are wrong, because she can do it better than you. Physically fit or not, a mother can still strike that hot spike in the volleyball court. And she can be in that netball uniform playing just like she did when she was 16 years old. Whether it's in the kitchen or out on the court, she is still the best.
A great time out for those ladies, and congratulations Team Goldie for winning this year's tournament and Team Murray Barracks for being an excellent contender by securing second place. With changing times, environmental issues are becoming a growing concern. We talked with one man who's very passionate about the environment. On today's show, we have Latin, who's a climate change activist, join us in the studio. Thanks so much for coming in again today and for speaking on this issue, climate change.
Thank you.
So last week you mentioned a bit about the advocacy work you're doing with carrying the cross around the Pacific to raise awareness for climate change. What provinces in Papua New Guinea have you walked around or worked with communities to talk about climate change?
Well, I've worked since 2011, but that time without the cross, and been a challenge too because the message is not been getting through. So I have to involve the cross that if they love God, then they love the cross too. So they shouldn't be abusing and destroying the environment.
And last week was Environmental Day. It was celebrated, and the theme was illegal sales in the marketplace. And can you tell us a bit about the Environmental Act that you're also, because you're doing this not to just raise awareness on climate change, but also changes to the Environment Act. So can you tell us a bit about that?
The theme for World Environment Day last week, it's an indication that the country should start recognizing it seriously because of the wild animals that we are selling in the local market. And this need to be identified in the Fauna Act, and there should be tough penalties imposed on those who illegally selling the wild animals, because we need to protect them and we need to preserve for future generations. So if we have these animals in Fauna Act, then we need to seriously impose and put tough measures penalty on those who illegally sells them. So these some issues that the SEPA or Environment Conservation Authority needs to step up and impose tough measures and more awareness on these issues.
And do you think, you're talking about the Act, but we know that obviously information doesn't go down to the people that really need the information. Do you think more advocacy should be done around the penalties and why we should not be, selling animals that we shouldn't be in the marketplace?
Well, we need to target the groups, those who are more on abusing and killing this, especially nowadays they're using modern technology to kill these wild animals. So we need to get more awareness drive in this situation and go to the communities and target them that identify the laws on Fauna Act so that they should learn and not to destroy those things or even killing them and selling them, but only for local consumption. Yes, we need to people need to know that reality on the domestic animals that need to be killing or illegally selling at the market.
So what kind of, you're saying what should not be sold in domestic consumption, what kind of animals shouldn't be sold at the marketplace? Give us an example of what shouldn't be and what would be fit as something that you could consume in your household.
Those that already identified in the Fauna Act, like turtles illegally not to be sold at the market and not to be keeping as a domestic pet also. So these are some of the animals that already in the Fauna Act, and we need to getting tough measures on the Environment Act that more penalty imposed or tougher jail term for those who have been abusing this the legal act, so that we will preserve these animals. Otherwise, these animals will go extinct, and people will be playing up with the Environment Act, especially the Fauna Act.
You say turtles, but turtles are a part of the diet here in the Pacific, like not just in PNG, but in the Pacific. Is it complete ban to turtles being consumed, or is there a size that you could get, or is it just total ban on?
The Fauna Act identified that the big size you cannot sell them, but probably on consumption, yes. But nowadays we have been abusing that law, and we have been selling different sizes of turtles, and even those already identified in the act that are endangered species that we need to preserve because of climate change, and these turtles most are extinct and we need to preserve, and these are the issues that we need to identify. If we can have turtle identified in our legal tender, in our currency, in the 5 toya coin, then we need to preserve and we need to have tough measures on these issues.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining me today in the studio and talking about this important issue.
Thank you very much.
A great lesson to learn about environmental protection. Coming up, we talk to an inspiring young man on youth empowerment.